What's good, my guys? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe, or else you'll be single forever. Amusement parks are my jam. I love riding all kinds of roller coasters and getting my heart rate up and feeling my stomach turn upside down. I've always been a little bit afraid of them though. Like if something goes wrong on a ride, you're pretty much helpless up there. Today we're gonna be checking out some unlucky people who picked the wrong day to go to the park. Make sure you watch until the end to see the craziest videos. First up, we've got a video from a park in France where two people got to experience a living nightmare. Everything starts off okay. They're in one of those giant slingshots that shoot you way up in the air. Then one of the cables holding the ball they're in snaps and flings them straight up into a support beam. This video is not for the faint of heart. One of the riders broke their leg and they were both stranded on the ride for over an hour. I think I'd take a break from visiting theme parks if I were them. Imagine you're having a great day at the park with your dad. You're riding rides, eating funnel cakes, and all that other good stuff. Then you get on a roller coaster that starts falling apart as soon as the ride starts. That's what happened to the father and son in our next video. You can see pieces of metal falling off the ride towards the beginning. Then the coaster actually starts smoking like it's on fire. This is one trip these two won't forget. This is why I always carry some spare bolts and stuff with me just in case I need to fix a roller coaster on the fly. That's a lie. If this happened to me, I'd need a change of pants and wouldn't be able to speak for a week because I scream too much. When the brakes fail in a car, it can be a pretty bad ordeal. When the brakes fail on a ride like this, you're guaranteed to have a disaster on your hands. Check out this crazy video where a ride full of people just drops to the ground out of nowhere. 10 people were injured in the accident, but it could have been a lot worse. One thing's for sure, these people got the ride of their lives. That was probably a bigger adrenaline rush than jumping out of a plane. Ever wonder what it feels like to get hit by a giant swinging amusement park ride? Just ask this guy. I'm not sure what this dude was thinking. For some reason, he's standing in the way of this ride and only tries to get away once it starts picking up speed. He goes flying when the ride hits him and lands like 20 feet away on the concrete ground. I thought this dude was a goner for sure, but you can see him get back up at the end of the video. Talk about a close call. What better way to celebrate the first day of your park opening than by launching a little kid onto concrete? Whoever was in charge of testing this thing obviously fell asleep on the job because it didn't take any time at all to reveal its design flaws. Not a good look for a new park. People usually don't like to take their kids where there's a chance they'll get yeeted into oblivion. I don't know about you, but I'm wearing a helmet the next time I go to an amusement park. This chick is redefining the phrase, just hanging out. I don't know how she got in this position, but she's hanging from the ski lift like 30 feet up in the air. The people on the ground are yelling at her to drop and they'll catch her, but she's not super excited about that idea. Normal trust falls are scary enough, but this is an entirely different level. At the end of the day, she was able to safely drop into the arms of her rescuers and live to tell the tale. This is why you should carry a rope with you everywhere. You never know when you're going to need to rappel down from somewhere. So it turns out that getting stuck way up in the air happens like all the time on these rides. Check out what happened to these people when a cable snapped and left them dangling in the air and hanging by a thread. Luckily, no one was hurt, but this could have been really bad if the other cable snapped too. We all like a little adrenaline rush, but this is crossing the line for me. If I was stuck there, I'd definitely need a bucket to puke in. When I think about amusement park accidents, I usually picture a giant roller coaster going off the rails or something. Looks like even the smaller rides can put you in a world of hurt though. These people are just taking it easy on a pretty tame carnival ride when all of a sudden, the arm holding them up snaps and leaves them tumbling off the ride while still strapped to their seats. This went from 0 to 100 real quick. Turns out you might be in danger no matter where you are at the park.
I'm gonna puke! I'm gonna barf!
You would think that a slide would be the safest thing you could ride at a theme park, right? Think again. If the park is out for blood, you're never safe. They're kind of like vampires when you think about it. Check out this kid having a great time just chilling on the slide when out of nowhere, the guardrail slams down on top of him. That kid either has really bad luck or the slide is getting revenge for something. Who knows? Could be either one. Okay, this is a pretty crazy one. I have no idea how this happened, but somehow this dude ended up being spun around this ride like crazy and then flung through the air like 50 feet. If being thrown by amusement park riders was an Olympic sport, this dude would be taking home the gold. Instead, he's taking home some broken bones and a newfound fear of rides. Next time you're on a ride, whatever you do, don't do what this guy did. This is an actual nightmare. This next video shows one of those giant swinging rides that also spin at the bottom. Usually these are a lot of fun and people of all ages ride them. This time though, the ride support beam snapped while the passengers were in the air. They plummet to the ground and crash violently. Several people are thrown off and the entire area gets chaotic really fast. This feels like a moment out of a Final Destination movie. I know I'd be getting a lawyer after that. The only thing better than going to an amusement park is getting millions of dollars from a lawsuit. Next up, we've got a video that starts off fine. A dad and his daughter are having a blast on this roller coaster, screaming their heads off in pure joy. Then the coaster stops and everyone is stuck. Maintenance workers come up to try and fix it, but don't have any luck. Eventually, they make all of the riders get off and walk down the roller coaster. I'm not even afraid of heights and this would freak me out. At least they got a unique experience out of the ordeal. Nobody was injured, but I bet they're a little bit more afraid of roller coasters now. It's never good when your roller coaster's on fire. Everyone knows that. It's especially bad when your entire ride is made of wood. Check out this video of firefighters trying to stop the fire on this massive wooden coaster from spreading. Luckily, no passengers were on the ride when this happened, otherwise this would have been truly disastrous. I feel like making a roller coaster out of wood is a bad idea anyways, but what do I know? I'm not an amusement park scientist. Yet. You know where roller coasters don't belong? Trees. Whoever was in charge of this ride obviously didn't know that, because several passengers were stuck for hours after they hit a tree and damaged the coaster. I don't know anything about designing roller coasters, but I do know that you shouldn't have trees in the way of your ride. Feels like common sense to me. I just know that I don't want to end my trip with a mouthful of bark. This next one is pretty terrifying, just warning you. When you get on a roller coaster, you don't expect to go airborne. These unlucky riders did just that when the safety mechanisms broke and launched them through the air and off the rails. It's a pretty terrible accident, but luckily everyone survived. Still though, I wouldn't step foot in a park if this happened to me. This is why you always buckle up. Somehow the guy in our next video managed to undo his safety harness and ended up falling off the ride. Falling from that height is basically like being punched 10 times by a heavyweight boxer. This dude was definitely knocked out, but it could have been a lot worse. Don't get into a fight with gravity, guys. Gravity always wins. How dangerous can swings be? They should be the safest things in the world. I feel safer on a swing than I do just standing on the ground. Well, I did until I saw this video. Check out the absolute insanity that happens when this swing ride starts falling apart. The 5-ton support ring falls down and nearly crushes a little boy. Luckily, it only hit his seat, which caused him to get thrown a few feet. One thing I've learned after watching all of these videos is that apparently anything can hurt you. I'm gonna wear a full suit of armor next time I go to the fair. It might be hard to eat a corn dog with a knight's helmet on, but I'll do my best.